recording people's voices and playing it through your mic has always been super complicated. You've needed multiple different pieces of software on your PC. You've had to route different audio channels. You've had voice meter, voice mod, all this stuff just to be able to record and play a voice through your mic. Now all that has changed, and this is why I'm making this video. We've got WaveLink 3.0, which used to be gated behind an Elgato product. You had to have an Elgato mic to be able to use WaveLink, but now it's completely open, so you can use WaveLink 3.0 to do exactly that. So in this video, let's go through how to clip people's voices in game, how to play them through your mic, and also how to do soundboards and set up your channels. Let's get into it. So once you've got this all set up, then what you're going to need to do is get WaveLink 3.0. If you've already got 2.0 installed on your system, you need to uninstall it, probably do a restart just to get rid of those drivers, and then go for 3.0. It's the same if you do get 3.0, you're going to want to install it and then restart your computer. So save this video and then come back once that's done. Once that's done and you've opened up WaveLink, you should initialize your microphone, whether that's your headset mic or an XLR cable mic, USB mic, and then follow the steps on there to proceed with that. Then you want to come over to mixes. You're going to have a monitor mix by default. So a monitor mix is what you hear through your headphones. It's very important that you have your audio set up right for that. On the left, you have your buckets, your audio buckets, which hold your channels, so your app channels, so like browser, for example, and that's the first one we're going to set up. So we're going to add our different applications that are for browser, so Firefox, Chrome, Edge. You don't have to have these open, but sometimes if you don't find it in the list, open the app and it'll appear. You can rename this and you can give it an icon as well, just to make it a little bit easier. So we're going to call this browser. So that is our first application bucket. And now we've only got our monitor mix at the minute. So let's test that the browser is actually working. So what we'd expect to do is if we add our audio to this, which means we're adding it to the mix. So whatever plays from browser plays in our monitor mix, which should play in our headphones. So we're going to pull over a browser, and as you can see, the audio level is peaking. Now you won't be hearing this at the minute because we've not checked this. So if you check your headphones, there you go, you just turn that on and you'll be able to hear that in your mix. Also, if you go to the top right, you can select what your headphones are. And in the settings, if you've not done this already, you can also add it to make sure that that's your default audio device for Windows. We're going to create our second one, which is our stream mix. We're going to give it an icon and we're going to add that now. Okay, so now we've got our browser that plays in our monitor mix, which is our headphones, and we've also got it playing in our stream. And if we wanted to, we could reduce the volume in our stream mix so that the browser isn't as loud as it is in our headphones for if you're playing something on stream. We're going to add our third mix, which is our mic effects mix. Now, if you've used WaveLink 2.0, you'll be familiar with this, but this is a different way of setting this up. This is what is going to be our microphone channel. And it's our microphone channel instead of just using our mic, because we're going to be combining audio with this channel. Soundboards, recordings, videos, anything. So that's why we're going to do that. So after you've added all your application buckets and your mixes, this is what yours should look like. It might be a little bit different to mine, but this is how I have mine set up. So I've got a music mix, which is Spotify. I've got Soundboards, which is all my StreamDeck stuff and SpeakerBot. System sounds, which is just your default system sounds, system information, configuration, NVIDIA if you've got an NVIDIA hardware. Games is set to Steam, any games that I've opened up, Ubisoft, Epic Games. It will cover the audio for all of those outputs. Voice chats, I've got this set up for Discord, but if you do meetings, you could have this as Google Meet, you could have this as Zoom, etc. OBS is just OBS Studio. Video editing, I've got my video editing apps in here. And then we've got the browser mix that we set up as well. So Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge. So anything that I play on these channels will be represented here. So for example, I want to play a video on YouTube.
Oh,
you're going to hear it on here.
I made a mistake.
And it's also going to be playing on your stream mix at your designated volume. With Discord, now this is where it gets interesting. So if I play a song on Discord or voice chat, it's going to play through voice chats on here. And this is important. So essentially what we need to do is we need to feed voice chat into a specific recording software so that we can record it and then play it back through our mic. And the software that I'm choosing to record audio is going to be StreamDeck. Now, StreamDeck is obviously an expensive piece of hardware, but you can also use this on your mobile for free. So if you download the StreamDeck mobile app, you can also plug in a virtual device, a mobile device, and a network device. So you can do exactly what I'm doing on my PC if you follow along. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our extensions panel. And SoundGeek by Geeky Ego is essentially an application that allows you to record audio and play back audio through different channels. Now it's free, so you just download it. Once you have it downloaded and you come over here, you'll have it in your side panel. So if you just search SoundDeck, you'll have it all there. And the one that we're interested in is Sampler. So let me just delete these and show you how you set these up. We're going to drag a sampler over, and we're going to drag over a clear sample button. The clear sampler allows you to delete the samples that you've saved. So, you know, if you're a DJ and you had a pad, you'd hold down that pad, record a sample, press it again to play it, and if you wanted to delete it, you'd press that delete key. Super simple. Once you click on your sampler button, you're going to have a bunch of different options. Capture device. Now this is what you're capturing your audio from. So if you're capturing your audio from Discord, you're going to set this to the same name you've named your voice bucket. So mine's named voice chats. So I'm going to set it to voice chats. If you don't see all your options in here, after you've set this up, make sure you restart your computer, because it'll need to set these different buckets and these mixes into your computer settings. So we're going to set that to voice chats, and then we're going to pick a folder to save this to. So make sure it's on your C drive or the drive that you installed Windows on. That is important. Pick a folder, that's where it's going to save the clips. Encode to MP3, leave that off. Normalize, leave that on. You're going to set this to about 75% volume. You want to set this to play and stop. That's the action. Your playback device, you're going to set your playback device to soundboards. Now, I've created a separate channel for soundboards, and it's only going to be playing in my monitor mix and through my mic FX. So now we need to find something to clip. And what I like to do with these is I press Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V to copy a bunch of these over. And now, because this is set to record from voice chats, which is Discord, now I'm not going to start a call, but what I am going to do is just play some audio like so. Okay, and then I'm going to hit the buttons and start recording. Once it saves it, your button will change to a play button instead of a record. So I'm just pressing this on my StreamDeck. Okay, cool. Right, so I should have some of that song that I played on Discord, because it was playing on my voice chats channel, which is set to capture on voice chats, and it's set to playback through the soundboards channel. And it sounds confusing, but honestly, when you get your head around it, it's not too bad. So if I press play now. So you get the point. So I've recorded it and it's playing on my mic effects channel. Now, the other thing that we want to do is we want to test that that's working. So to do that, mic tester, just search mic tester in Google. You'll find something. This one's good at the top. You're going to set your device in here to be mic FX, which is this channel. I'm going to go test my mic. Now I'm going to start speaking and it's going to start registering it. As you can see there, it's going up and down on the channel width. We're just going to actually press play on a button now that we've just recorded and watch it move. So there we go. So it's moving, and it's also moving when I'm talking as well. So it's combined the mic and a soundboard into a voice clip. That's it. So what does this mean then? So this is for when you want to set up soundboards or clip people in Discord, right? The other option is play audio. So if you want to just download a clip from the internet, you set your playback device as Soundboards, play stop, and then you just add your file. Okay, so let's download the Apple Pay sound here. So we're just going to download that as an MP3. I'm going to select that sound we've just downloaded. And then now, whenever, press play on that button there. It's going to play it through our mic, as you can see. Simple as that. So now, how does this work for games? So let's pick the most common game for voice clipping, and that is Call of Duty. And now before you'd have to use voice mod and you'd have to route your audio and all that sort of stuff. But with this, it's just super easy. So we keep our game sounds as our games channel. That's our games bucket that we set up on WaveLink. We then go down to voice chat. And now this is specific to Call of Duty. It's not in all games, but you've got voice chats, which is our bucket, our Discord bucket for the output device. And we're going to select that specifically just for voice audio. Now we come down to voice chat. We've got a voice chat output device, which is really unique to Call of Duty. And you can select this and all the audio from voice chats comes out of this specific bucket. So it's really important that you set this to the one that you've set like Discord to, or in my case, it's just called voice chats. Then for your microphone input device, you want to select mic FX. Now that is what the soundboard goes into, and that is what my voice goes into. And the important thing is we can only play stuff through that mic if I use a soundboard. So what we've done is we've created a section on the left-hand side with all our apps in place with different titles. We've separated all our apps into different buckets. Everything that comes out of these buckets transfers over the horizontal line into your mixes, which we have 3 at the top. So we have Monitor Mix, Stream Mix, and Mic FX. A Mic FX mix contains everything that we want to come out of our microphone. So it contains the bass audio, which is here. This is your microphone audio coming from your specific chosen mic. And then you have anything else you want to pass through it. So in this case, we have soundboards passing through it here. Now, to get that to work, what we've done is we've added a voice chats channel that includes Discord. So for voice chats, we have Discord, and then we are using that for games as well. And that is our output for all our voice audio from other people that we want to clip. When we set up our sampler, we are capturing the audio from voice chats. So anything that comes from Discord, anything that comes from games, game voice chat comes into here. And then once we have captured that device using this record button, and we get the play button, which means we have captured that device audio into our output path, we then play it back using the play button in soundboards. And soundboards go through into our mic effects, as you can see here. So what that means is, and I know this looks complicated, but what that means is anything that we play back through soundboards plays back through our mic. So when we set up our games, our mic, and anywhere else that we set up our mic, we are going to use mic effects. That is our main microphone. And because we are only sending audio to it using a soundboard, it's not always open, so we can still use it as a regular mic. For game audio, we are using just a game channel. So that is this one here. And for voice chat, we're using our voice chats bucket. And that's it. If in the occasion that you run a game and it doesn't have a voice channel separator for your voice chats, then you would just use game. And then the game would replace this in the capture device. But obviously, if you're doing that, it will still work exactly the same, but instead of capturing just the audio from the mic, you're going to get the audio from people's mics and also the game in the background. That pretty much wraps it up, folks. If this helped you, drop a subscribe and let me know in the comments. Peace.